the odds are terrible. Terrible. I had a 20% chance of living 1 year. Well, this February will be 2 years, so I will have beaten that off. I have a 6% chance of making it 5 years. Now, you guys are going to graduate in 5 years, right? Hopefully. You want to graduate in 5 years, right? But all I'm going to say about that is, it's just a number. You know, it's a challenge that's put before me. As many of you are going to have challenges put before you. It's just a number. I can't change it. All I can do is fight it and do what I'm told to do. Do what my caregivers tell me to do. By the way, my wife Ann joining us today. She's primary caregiver at home. She uses this on me more than I do. But what it all relates to is what it is how people think of you, how they're going to remember you. Now, you're at an age where there's lots of stuff going on. You're trying to figure out who you are. You're trying to figure out what you want to be. You know, who are your friends going to be? Who are your enemies going to be? Let's be honest about it. You know, it's not all milk and cookies. You know, do you want to play basketball? You want to play baseball, softball? You're making all kinds of decisions and getting influenced all kinds of ways. Your peers are influencing you, your teachers, your parents, maybe other members of your family. But at the end, you want to be remembered for who you are. And there's 3 ways that this happens. The first is, back when I was 8 years old, my dad wrote something on a little piece of scrap paper. And it was called The 3 C's, How People Will Remember You. And I don't know if they still have it, but I think there was a big poster in the Commons area that had that on there. And it's conduct, character, and conversation. And I had the cards laminated, actually. And we're working on getting more of them laminated so I can pass them out to all you guys. But conduct is how you act. The character part is what you're about, and conversation is what you say. Now, believe it or not, that happens every day. Okay, every day. And you can't avoid it. There's no getting out of it. It happens every day. Now, when I go and I meet somebody for the first time, what do you call that? First impressions. Okay? That's a first impression. You have one chance for a first impression. That's it. One chance and only one chance. You don't get another one. How you act, what you say, and what you do during that first meeting can define who you are to that person forever. It's a first impression. There's no resets. There's no takebacks. Okay, first impressions are really important. You want to make a good first impression. Okay, because I think all of us want to be liked. They want people to think well of us. Okay, so that first impression is really critical. And then everything else that happens after that adds to that first impression. If you go into a cemetery and you look at the headstones, most of them will have a date when the person was born, and then a date when the person passed away. And in the middle is a dash. You know 2 things about that person. When they were born, when they died. And right now, that's all you know. Unless you actually knew the person. Nowadays, they're actually putting QR codes on the headstones, so you can scan them, and it'll bring up a web page or a video tell you about that person, which I think is pretty cool. But anyway, the dash. The dash is the part that defines you. The dash is everything you've done between the day you were born and the day you died. Everything you accomplished, every person you talked to, every person you helped, every person you didn't help, everything is defined in that dash. And that's another thing you can't get away from. It's just going to happen. Right now, you're working on the dash. Sitting here, you're doing it. Okay? Paying attention or not paying attention, or believing it or not believing it, it's still part of that. Now, the first thing I want to talk about that's on this card is conduct, and that's how you act. How you act happens all over the place. How you act in the classroom, how you act in the hall, how you act at lunch, how you act in gym, how you act in a game if you're playing a sport, how you act in the bleachers if you're watching the sport. Okay, then that's all related to school. But there's more to it than that. It's also how you act at the mall. I always enjoy walking through Tuttle Mall and seeing students, and they look at me like, what are you doing here? Why are you at the mall? Well, I like to go to the mall too.